Alright guys, this is my very first K.E.M strike ever. I'm using the AK-12 on the map Tremor, and the AK-12 is just a really good gun all around. If you haven't used it yet, I definitely suggest it. If you haven't played Ghost yet, I'd recommend it. This or the Honey Badger are both really good ARs, but this gameplay is pretty campy, and that's what I want to talk about for the first minute or two of this commentary. There's a couple reasons behind why it is, but the first and foremost is that how fast you die is just atrocious. You can't really run out in the middle of the map, otherwise you're just dead in 2 or 3 bullets. So in free-for-all, you kind of want to play more defensively, and you just want to patrol one area like you see I'm doing here. I do branch out onto a lake once or twice to pick off a couple more kills, but all in all, I come back to this area with the building because I know 2 good spawn points right here, and I can sound horde a little bit because of that amazing perk Amplify. I don't think it's quite as good as Sit Rep Pro, but it allows you to sound horde pretty well. So I was just staying around this building because I knew the spawn points for this area, and I didn't want to rush around because people will spawn right on top of you. I was playing this game of Strike Zone, and while the game was counting down for the game to start, I spawned in, I took 5 steps, and then I got killed. And I watched the kill cam, and it still showed the timer counting down a little bit, but it showed this guy, and he's looking right at me, not 5 feet behind me, and then right when the game starts, he kills me. It's just horrible spawns. I know that map's tiny, so that might have been some of the reason, but it's really not excusable. They shouldn't make the spawns that close together, especially for the start of the game. But it is what it is. Hopefully they fix some of this stuff. I know the game's only been out for a day or two, so I'm trying not to complain about it very much at all. But the next reason as to why this gameplay is campy is I don't know if it's the same for you as it is for me. When I'm going for my very first high kill streak of a game, for instance a Moab or a Nuclear or a K.E.M strike, I have so much trouble getting that first one. I fail so many times. And then once I get that first one, the next ones come a little bit easier. Like the Nuclear and Black Ops 2, I had so many Nuclear fails before I got my first one. The only reason I got my first one is because I was playing multi-team with Zoom. So we had constant VSATs up pretty much, and we got a pretty scrubby lobby. But after I got that first Nuclear, all the other ones that I did end up getting came pretty easily. Mostly because they were in multi-team. But they were still easier. I didn't have as many fails, and it was just easier after that. So I don't know if that's how it is for you, but on this game, when I got close to my K.E.M strike, my heart was just pounding. I had such a rush. It felt so good. I haven't felt it since I was trying to go for like a nuke in MW2. It was just an amazing feeling, and I thought for sure I was going to die from something stupid, but I did end up picking it up, so I'm really happy for that. But on to the topic, I talked pretty much about why this gameplay is campy. I'm sure you guys can figure out the rest if you played this game before. You know how it is. But what I think about Ghost as of right now. Now, I like the game overall, but there are some faults with it. The biggest being how low the health is, obviously, and then the maps come shortly after that. When we were talking in Black Ops 2 about how we wanted lower health to where it wouldn't take a half a clip to kill somebody, I don't think we meant quite this low. In my mind, I had something more like MW3's how fast you kill in that game, because that was pretty solid. I thought that was good. You had chances to turn on somebody, and the only reason you have a chance to do that on this game is if they have just gosh awful gun skill, but you die so fast. The next problem with this game is the maps. The maps, I don't know what they were thinking with the maps. They're just, it's like somebody just threw it down on a table and called it a map, because there's just like no logic to any of these maps. The only one that has some logic is Strike Zone, and that's kind of because it has the standard 3 routes like a lot of the older maps did. There's one exception to that, which is that little hallway that's kind of over the, I think, CDOM spot. But all in all, it's like 3 routes, and it's kind of easy to rush around with because it's such a small map. So that's like the only map that's really good. I think that's the rate of this game, so to speak. It's what a lot of gameplays are going to be on, especially the better ones. It's a good sized map, it's easy to rush around in. And it's small, so you can just keep going and going and going and get kills constantly. But what I like about this game are the gun balance. I feel that the guns are pretty balanced. There's not one gun that's just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe he's using that. The only gun that might be like that is the 3-burst weapon or some of the marksman rifles, which I haven't really used, so I'm not sure on that. But this game's wrapping up pretty fast. I'll try and go more in depth about what I think about the game. And I'm just going to let it play out so you guys can hear the K.E.M strike. So like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and I'll catch you on my next one.
K.E.M strike available. Friendly K.E.M strike incoming.